Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today in this video we're going to be making a simple crop top, and these materials right here are what I'm going to be using. My scissors, my pin, my ruler, and of course we'll be needing a tape rule. So to start off this tutorial, first thing I went ahead to do was to fold my fabric into two, and what I'm doing right now is trying to get the circle at the middle of this fabric to be right in the middle of my top. After getting that, the next thing I went ahead to do was just to make a straight line with my ruler, as you see me doing like this, and I'm just going to cut it out. This is going to be the template for me to take every other measurement. So after cutting that out, I went ahead to get the length I wanted this top to be. So I wanted it to be around 16.5, 17 inches. So I marked it out. Now I'm cutting it out now with 18 inches, so that the other 1.5 inch will be for stitching at the top and also for stitching at the down. Next thing, as you can see, I'm just going to also cut it out as well, and then I'm cutting this side as well. This part is I've already folded it in using my bust measurement, including some stitching allowance as well. So this is what I'm going to be using right now to cut out this top. So we're taking this point as our shoulder, and I'm going to take my 10-inch point, which is my bust point, from that shoulder mark. And as you can see, I'm marking it. This is going to serve as my bust point. Next thing I'm going to do is to go up from that bust point by 2 inches, as you see me doing like this, and I'm going to mark it as well and make a line across. This is going to serve as our chest line. So now the next thing I'm doing is to take how wide I want my neck to be. So I'm marking it right now at 3 inches, and then for the neck depth I'm marking 5 inches. So what I'm going to do is to just use my free hand to just make a curve, as you see me doing like this. This is a simple round neck. So the next thing you're going to do is to divide your shoulder measurement by 2 and mark it. So I divided mine by 2 and it's 7 inches. So I'm just making that mark right here, and what I'm going to do is to extend that mark to meet my chest line, as you see me doing like this. Next, I'm going to mark my shoulder slope. You can decide to use 1 inch or half an inch. Most people use 1 inch, but for this I decided to use half an inch. So I'm just going to connect it to meet the top of my neck. So the next thing we're going to do now is to divide my bust measurement by 4, and I marked it here, and then I'm going to just connect my armhole to meet that point. So after that, the next thing you're going to do is to definitely add allowances to your top. I'm not making use of a lot of fabric here, but my bust is actually 34 inches and I have 10 inches here, which times 4 is 40 inches, which is just perfectly enough for this box top because it's not supposed to be tight. So this is enough for stitching, and as well it's going to be free. The next thing we're going to do is to just cut along the white lines. So we're through cutting the front, and this is what it looks like when I open it. I really wanted this circle to be in the middle, and it came out very nice. So this is really nice. Now to get the back, guys, I went ahead to fold in another piece of fabric. So for this back piece, we're still going to use the exact same measurement. I'm not going to be adding any zipper allowance to this back of this because it's a free top. It's something that can easily pass through. So because this is pure cotton, I just quickly marked the back with my chalk so that I know exactly when I'm stitching this together. This fabric is just so hard to identify the back from the front when you finish cutting it. So as you've already seen, I just went ahead to place the front piece that I already cut out on this other back piece, as you can see. So what I'm doing now is from the back piece, you know the front neck is already cut, so you can easily see the back. I went down by 1.5 inch and I'm just making a curve to meet the other part of the neck in front. So this is going to be like the only difference between the front and the back part of this top. So I just went ahead to cut it, and then after cutting the neck, I'm just going to just trace out the shoulder and also the armhole part just exactly as it is on the front part. So guys, because this is another one of my scrap fabric projects, like honestly this is all that is left after I finish cutting out the front and the back. So I had to just join pieces together in order to be able to get the sleeves. So what you see me doing like this is just putting pieces together that I'm just going to join on the sewing machine to be able to cut out my sleeve. It looks like we made it, guys. So I was able to join pieces together to get this piece here. So what I'm going to do now, this is what we're going to use to get our sleeve, obviously. So what I'm going to do is to just fold it up like this for the two sleeves. So this is obviously not going to be as long as I would have loved it to be, but then we're going to just make do with it. So as you see, I folded it into 4. I'm going to be cutting the two sleeves together. So just try to understand what I'm doing here. So I'm taking the measurement I have around my armhole, and what I did first was to come down from one side of my sleeve by 5 inch, and then that measurement I had on my armhole, which was 10 inches, I've just made a rough curve on the armhole to meet it and marked the 10-inch point, and then I'm just making a curve with my free hand to meet that point. So guys, that's all for all the cutting. These are my sleeves. So basically the next thing we're going to be doing now is to start stitching our pieces together. So this is the front part of the neck, and I have this long bias strip. What I'm just going to do is to go over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to pipe my neck for both the front and the back using the bias tape. So after I was done with that, this is how neat it came out, very neat. And you can actually decide to do this with a lining piece or a facing if you want to. So this is how I chose to do mine. After that, I'm just putting the shoulder part of it together as you see me doing like this, and I went ahead to just pin it down up there as you can see. So what we're going to do now is to head over to the sewing machine and stitch it up here. And then also what I'm going to do after that is to stitch down the side with about 1/2 inch on both sides. So guys, I'm done with all the stitching at the top and at the side. It's very neat, and also went ahead to just give it a good press. So now we're going to leave this aside, and it's time to work on the sleeve. So just the same way I did the neck, I'm going to pipe the ends of my sleeve, and after that I'm going to stitch down the sides. And how I'm going to get the measurement for the side is I'm going to take the measurement around my armhole as you can see, and I'm just going to, while sewing on the sewing machine, take that same measurement and then stitch it down as well. So guys, this is what the sleeves look like after I was done piping it up and stitching the sides. It's very neat. So now this is my top. I'm just going to flip it to the wrong side so that I'll be able to pin my sleeves to it and take it over to the sewing machine and stitch it down. So to pin the sleeve, I'm just going to make a notch at the sleeve cap like this. I'm going to place the sleeve right side, and I'm just going to put the sleeve cap and the shoulder joint where I joined it at the shoulder together like this, and I made a point there. And then the two sides, which is the side joining and the joining on the sleeve, I just put it together and I'm just pinning everything all the way around. So guys, this is what it looks like after I was done pinning it down. I'm just going to stitch it all the way around, and I will do the same thing for the other sleeve. So this is the final look of the sleeve after I stitched it down. I also went ahead to finish up the dress by hemming the ends, and this is basically all for this top. It looks so neat, and I really love how this came out, the circle in the middle and just the designs around the top. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much guys for watching this video today. I hope you find it helpful. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. If you're here for the first time and you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.